What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. I want to give a shout out to Brother Keith for sending me this Instagram post in which Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron responds back to Thee Stallion. Now, he was on an interview, and obviously I made a video about how Thee Stallion said that he is pretty much a guy that sold blacks into slavery. And by making that claim, many people agree with that commentary, right? But interestingly enough, we did not hear from Daniel Cameron. Now, for me, I felt this is something that he wouldn't have responded to. I think that he's above that. But he did, in fact, respond to it in this video. And I figured that I'll play the video and we'll watch it, and then I'll come back and then I'll give my commentary.
Your name was depicted on Saturday Night Live this past weekend, and during a musical performance, the singer mentioned you as well. We're going to play this and then get your reaction. Watch.
Daniel Cameron is no different than the sellout Negroes that sold our people into slavery by savages.
We need to protect our black women and love our black women. Because at the end of the day, we need our black women.
Attorney General?
Well, let me just say I agree that we need to love and protect our black women. There's no question about that. But the fact that someone would get on national television and make disparaging comments about me because I'm simply trying to do my job is disgusting. But it's not the first time we see this, and it certainly won't be the last time we see this. At the end of the day, my responsibility is to provide facts and truth and represent and stand up for justice. I think what you saw there in that display is someone who instead wants to fashion facts to a narrative. That narrative is simply not true in this particular case with Ms. Taylor. Again, it is a tragedy what happened to her. But what you saw on the screen there and what your viewers saw is something that I've had to experience because I'm a black Republican, because I stand up for truth and justice as opposed to giving in to a mob mentality. And those are the sorts of things that will be hurled at me in this job. Those are the sorts of things that I've heard when I was in college. Again, because I identify with a different political philosophy, and therefore that shades the way people view me. The fact that a celebrity that I've never met before wants to make those sorts of statements, they don't hurt me, but what it does, it exposes the type of intolerance that people, and the hypocrisy, because obviously people preach about being tolerant. You see a lot of that from the left about being tolerant, but what you saw there is inconsistent with tolerance. In fact, it's her espousing intolerance because I've decided to stand up for truth and justice. But what I will tell you is there are a lot of folks that look like me that aren't scared anymore, that are tired of the comments and the derogatory remarks that are made because of our political philosophy. And so enough is enough. We're going to continue to stand up and stand up for truth and justice.
All right, you heard what he had to say. Now, I don't agree with Daniel Cameron on certain things that I've heard him talk about, but I can respect his position. Now, with the Breonna Taylor case, it's very controversial. It's iffy. It's a tough case to judge. But what this talks about for me is the hatred that the black community may have for those people who are out-of-box thinkers. Out-of-box thinkers are people who are different from the norm, okay? and guys like Daniel Cameron. I would say somebody like Anthony Brian Logan, Brandon Tatum. A lot of guys in the black manosphere, believe it or not, even to some certain points, me, Sidian. In certain cases, depending on what the topic is, it's out-of-box mentality that differs from the normal African-American mentality, which he refers to as the mob mentality. And the thing is that he is a black man for the majority of his life that has grew up as an African-American, but culturally, he's more closer to what a Caucasian man would be like. Okay? He doesn't have the African-American charisma that some black men have. He doesn't have the, probably that personality. Shout out to brother Xanatos Clutch. And I even mentioned a guy's name like that's very similar, Donovan Sharp. These are black men that are in the black community that feel like they are, that they're different, and they are, okay? And the thing about it is this, and I will say this, a lot of brothers in the black community, like Daniel Cameron, who is definitely very bright and definitely very intelligent. And when that black man goes out and he joins in with the higher society or the white society, or he is, what you would consider to be an Oreo, there are a lot of names for guys like this. Okay? There's a lot of shame for guys like this. And for me, I don't have a problem with black men like Daniel Cameron. I went to school with a lot of brothers like him that were very, very talented, very, very bright. And it had a lot to offer the African American community. And for whatever reason, because of their personality or however they were, they just didn't fit in. And they thought that, what the Kool-Aid is for a lot of blacks is just not what I think it is. So they left. And they ended up living very fruitful lives. They married interracially, some of them, most of them did. They went on and have great careers in academia. And they kind of removed themselves. I don't have a problem with that. The only time I have a problem with with African Americans who, when they talk down on our people for other groups, okay? Now, what he also says is this. A lot of black people like him are tired of being talked about. And he's saying that there are many other blacks like him. And the thing about it, I believe, is he's right. You see, there are a lot of blacks like Daniel Cameron in the African American community, especially in the black immigrant community, that don't get a lot of looks. They don't get a lot of respect. Okay, the same thing in the African community in America. You have a lot of blacks that are very talented, and they are now starting to emerge. There's a new emergent, I would say, black conservative class, if you will, that's coming out. And I think that as long as there's no disrespect toward the black community from them, or vice versa, we got to understand that these are still our people. All right? Now, you know me, I am a pro-black. I'm a hardcore pro-black, a Pan-African. I'm a person that holds the opinion that people who think more like myself are, some of the more genuine people in the black community. That's just my opinion. And I believe people who have my mentality should have more weight and say so. That's just a personal choice. That doesn't make it true. But at the end of the day, this whole mob mentality that goes around like just calling names and just disrespecting people on their political views and how they see America and how they see black America, I don't think that's necessary. I think that when we deal with our people, we should be able to deal with them on the common ground. I try to do that. I've had many countless shows. Shout out to a brother like Xanatos Clutch. A brother, if I met him in real life, I would hang out with him all the time. We don't see the black community all the way the same. He has a different perspective than I do. I've worked with other black men that have a complete different perspective than me. But I try to work with what we can agree on. And I understand a lot of people like Daniel Cameron have been hurt by the black community. They have been let down. All right? A lot of people, you know, like Anthony Brian Logan. Anthony Brian Logan is a good brother to me. And I hope he's watching this video. Anthony Brian Logan, if people come for him, I can come for him, but you can't. Anthony Brian Logan in the Virginia area has done a lot to start black business, has done a lot to do things with the black community. You don't have to like his mentality. He's done a lot. In West Virginia, a lot. People like Breonna Taylor, they've tried to work with the black community before. For whatever reason, it didn't work out. Not everybody's going to have my mentality towards this. Some people are going to go where they feel it's greener pastures. I think Daniel Cameron has done that. But that doesn't mean that you go out there and call him a sellout or these things or whatever. No, you know, you can take it how you want. But at the end of the day, I will say this. I will listen to why he felt that the person on that side made a decision about the case. What were the facts? What was the truth? Not saying that if it's different from me, I'm not going to call him a name. I will call him a name if he starts talking bad about the black community in favor of those other people. But other than that, we should be able to talk to our people with some sort of decorum, even if we can't work with them, but they are our people. And I think he responded to her in great form. This is exactly what she needed to hear. He's right. It's classless. Especially what she does. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Subscribe, hit the bell, go to the first comment pinned to the top. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Guys, thank you so much. You guys have really, really been great. Check out the Black Manosphere Awards pinned to the top. Check out the Black Men Are Perfect t-shirts in the Teespring. And, do all of that. And I really thank you so much. Don't forget the Patreon, all the information pinned at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.